The Men in Black, Galaxy Defenders. Or so that's what Hollywood likes us to think. But what if the Men in Black were real? Well, according to these 5 encounters, they are. Enjoy, everybody. Alber Bender was the director of an amateur organization called the International Flying Saucer Bureau, and he believed that he had finally blown the lid off the whole flying saucer thing. He had his own publication called Space Review, in which he planned to spread his discovery. After compiling all of his collected wisdom on the matter, he mailed it to a friend to look it over before he unveiled it to the world. Unfortunately, this attracted the attention of the Men in Black, who decided that it was time to pay him a visit and prevent him from leaking all their secrets to the world. A couple of days later, Bender was on his bed when he suddenly had a dizzy spell. He noticed several dark shapes in the room with him that slowly materialized into Men in Black suits, with black hats obscuring their eyes and faces. He noticed in particular that the man's eyes lit up with an incredible glow, and they seemed capable of speaking directly to his mind. They made him promise to destroy his findings and cease all of his research into the subject. Bender was so scared that he was only too happy to comply. An anonymous postal worker from Washington, D.C., was out delivering mail one day when he decided to stop and eat an apple. When he was finished, he looked around for a trash can and, finding none, decided to just toss it onto the ground. Before he could leave the area, a security guard approached and lectured him for his negligence, explaining that the entire building and surrounding grounds were under constant surveillance. The postal worker thought about this, along with the fact that he already had to be buzzed in to deliver the mail, and began thinking that there was more to this place than meets the eye. A while later, he was out on his usual delivery run when he came by the foreboding building again. This time he saw 3 men walking toward the building, except they didn't appear to be like men. They waddled when they walked instead of putting one foot in front of the other, and they were abnormally thin. It was this thinness, more than anything, that frightened him. Though shaken, he decided to soldier on and march his way up to the door to deliver the mail. When he entered, he found a group of men who began questioning him about what he had seen moments earlier. He was flabbergasted and unable to respond until one of the strange beings he had seen earlier lateraled up near him, at which point he felt even more terrified. After more grilling by the men in the room, and after repeating that he had seen nothing at all, he was allowed to leave. His mail route was changed shortly afterward. Loch Ness has always been a place of mystery and intrigue. Many people believe that the depths of the lake contain a primordial creature from the early days of the earth, and some have dedicated their lives to proving its existence. One man named Frederick Holliday was well known for being passionate about the study of cryptozoology and had spent years looking for evidence of creatures in the lake. Perhaps paranormal phenomena are more connected than we might have thought, because while out investigating the lake for the Loch Ness Monster, Holliday had an experience that he would never forget. Holliday looked up on a hill near the lake and spotted a strange man dressed in a black suit. While it wasn't remarkable for people to sightsee along the lake, Holliday was struck by the fact that the man seemed to be looking directly at him. He was profoundly disturbed and reported feeling malevolence from the being that was staring him down. Before he could do anything, there was a bizarre noise and the man was gone as mysteriously as he had appeared. Just 1 year later, Holliday was back at the loch for further studies when he had a heart attack. As he was being carried to the ambulance, he passed over the exact place where the strange man had been standing. An anonymous man related a tale of a strange experience he had while sightseeing in Washington, D.C. Without realizing that there really wasn't anything of interest for a civilian to see, he wandered into the State Department building. He meandered through the lobby for a while until security became suspicious of him and headed over to usher him out of the building. However, before they could do so, he saw something that he would never forget. The elevator opened and 5 men got out. 2 of them were very businesslike and wore gray suits that were formal, but hardly remarkable beyond that. What drew his attention were the other 3 men in their escort. These men wore black hats pulled low over their eyes and long black trench coats, even though it was the middle of the summer. The appearance seemed so strange that our observer could only describe it as cartoonish. As they were walking by, one of the strange men lost his footing on the marble floor and fell to the ground, dropping his portfolio in the process. Upon helping him, he noticed that the man's legs seemed extraordinarily weak, and it felt like there was a thick layer of wool underneath his suit. Even stranger, the man's expression never appeared to change at all despite falling onto the hard marble floor. Near the dropped portfolio, he found a small coin with words written in no language he could identify. One side depicted a man with features like a wolf, and the other had navigational lines and 2 crescent moons. A professor of folklore named Peter Rochowitz told of an experience that occurred one night in the college library while he was reading a book on UFOs that had been recommended to him by a colleague. He was just relaxing in a chair and reading his book when he noticed what appeared to be a leg and a shoe out of the corner of his eye. Before he knew it, there was a man sitting in a chair in front of him. The man immediately asked Rochowitz about the book he was reading and questioned him on whether he had seen UFOs or was at all interested in the phenomena. When the professor stated that he really wasn't that interested in the subject to begin with and was only reading the book to satisfy the suggestion of a colleague, the man became enraged and angrily asked him how he could not be interested in the most important facts of the century. Seemingly satisfied that the professor was not going to dig into the world of UFOs, the man left, but not before telling the professor to go well on his purpose. However, while it seems like this would be the end of it, it's here that the story takes a turn for the extra creepy. After the encounter, Rochowitz got up to walk around the library. However, none of the librarians were anywhere to be seen. The same went for the guards and all the patrons. In fact, as far as he could tell, the library was completely deserted, except for him. The professor returned to his chair in an attempt to gather his wits. In about an hour, according to the professor, he decided to get up and look around again, and this time he found that everything was as it should be. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I was thinking of doing a video of scary stories that happen to be on Thanksgiving, but I decided to go with Alex Major's suggestion, so thank you, man, for this suggestion, and I hope you're happy with the video. And well, guys, I do want to talk about one very special thing that happened. My channel has eclipsed more than 200 subscribers, and I'm not going to lie, guys, I never would have thought I would have broke that mark before. When I first started out on YouTube doing a movie review channel, I would never think that I would be doing this or that my channel would grow as much as it has been in the past few months. So, seriously, thank you everybody that has subscribed to me. And, well, like I always say before, guys, thank you all for watching my video. And if you guys have any scary story suggestions, leave them down in the comments below, and I will make sure I get to them as soon as possible. And, well, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next time. And just remember, the best ideas always come out of nightmares.